Oh, I'll say this: Fooly Cooly is my definitive favorite anime. Two more seasons of Fooly Cooly have come out. I never
How
got
are
it.
those, by the way? Like, I
They're
heard
terrible. They're
oh,
ass. They're god awful. They shouldn't exist.
what's so bad about them? Wait, hold on. What's
Oh
so...
my god! I'll tell you this right now. You will never see another Rat Beef tweet from me again. I have now blocked the words Kendrick, Drake.
What is good, YouTube? How's it going? Welcome to a very, very special episode of Casual Takes, because I got, no pun intended, the rising star of the AniTube community, Mr. Johnny Star. How's it going, Johnny?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thank you so much 1,000 times for having me on. Like we were talking pre-pod, we've been trying to get this done for a little while now, but timelines don't match up all the way every time. So I'm glad we finally got it going, man.
I know, right, man? Hey, I'm just glad we're finally doing this thing, man, because I get the vibe that we'll get some good conversations going. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So first things first, I do want to say I do mean it when I say you are the rising star of the AniTube community. Me and Cardiac actually talk about it a little bit. We're like, yo, if we will give Johnny an award, the most improved player award. Honestly, I'm like, yo, dude, this dude's been grinding recently. Honest to God, man, like your past like 4 videos are just banger for bangers. So I just want to say, like, great content. By the way, check out Johnny's channel, man. I'm not gonna lie. I looked at those early videos and I'm like, dang, Johnny came a long way, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Look. I'll say this. You know, I've said it once. I'll say it 1,000 times. You know, the start of this year was kind of like, or more so, the end of last year was very much like, man, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been trying to, you know, get my foot through the door in a lot of different aspects, but you know, for some reason or another, it's just the videos weren't clicking. You know, people weren't coming in the way that I would have liked them to. So I was like, you know what? All right, I'm just gonna go all in. You know, I'm gonna go all in 2024. I'm gonna come up with a format that I really like. I'm gonna find a way to make it work. And yeah, I'm lucky enough to where all of the practice and, you know, connections I've made and things I've seen and things I've experimented on are finally kind of playing their role, you know, and they're working out. So listen, this shit didn't happen overnight. I know it feels that way. I know it definitely feels like, hey man, you know, Johnny Star popping up out of nowhere. But the truth is, this has been a long road. So, you know, we're finally at what feels like the finish line, but we still got a long way to go.
Right. I definitely feel that, because I've known of you for more than a year, but your stuff didn't pop up on my feed till like recently, like the last like 3 months, I want to say. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it's working. It's working.
I appreciate that.
From one content creator to another, do you think it's because you're tackling more like popular series or popular topics? Do you think that's one of the reasons why you're starting to pop off more? Because I did notice you kind of talked about stuff you really wanted to talk about, like Studio Trigger, Fooly Cooly, stuff like that. But now that you're talking about more, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen and Dragon Ball, like, do you think that attributes to it, or do you still feel like you're just the guy that's making content that I want to make, just at a higher more polished you know, rate? You know what I mean?
So you know what's funny is that the purpose of the Johnnyverse videos is to be able to do both, right? I think for a long time I have had that kind of like, oh well, I'll just make videos for stuff that I really feel passionate about, or I'll try to like I was always of the opinion that you couldn't do both, like it had to be one or the other, right? And in actuality, I was able to find this format for the Johnnyverse videos where it's possible for me to do both things. Like the purpose for me, and I say this all the time, like people ask me like, oh yeah, how would I describe the format of the Johnnyverse videos? And it's, I will take a topic or character that I really feel like connected to or really want to talk about, and then find a way to retool it in a fashion that allows me to talk about that, but still appeal to as many people as possible. So, like, the best way I can describe it, the protagonist video, I just wanted to talk about Yuji, right? But everyone was talking about Yuji. You know, season 2 had just ended, and it was kind of like, you know, if I just did it how everyone else did it, or if I just like make a video dedicated to Yuji, this is going to be like a drop in the water kind of thing. But how do I make it so that it reaches as many people as possible while still doing that? And I was like, oh, well, let's just talk about protagonists in general. And then I'll do the slow lead up, right? Same thing with the transformation video. I just want to talk about Gohan, right? I had just finished my reread of Z, and, you know, Gohan being like one of the most influential characters to me. I was like, all right, well, how do I get people through the door to hear me talk about Gohan in 2024? Oh, transformations. People love talking about that. People love that concept. So let me do my research and get all the points down so that I can finally get to talking about this character. So that's kind of the theme right now, is just what am I passionate about? And then how do I make it marketable? I think is the best way to put it. Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I definitely see that for sure, because I'm not gonna I'm so glad you said that you made that protagonist video for Yuji, because that makes me feel better about what I'm gonna lead into, which is I watched your protagonist video. I actually watched it twice to make sure. I was like, why am I so bothered by this? Like I was bothered, by it because I'm like, Yuji, what the and I think it's because the points you were making, which was what's a main character in shonen that goes through struggle, that isn't overpowered. I wish I had all the notes here, but you were describing my favorite protagonist in shonen, and it wasn't my favorite protagonist. And I was like, I realized that now.
Okay.
My favorite shonen protagonist of all time is Edward Elric. Love that guy.
Got it.
I think he literally fits everything you were saying. And then at the end, you're like, Yuji Itadori. I'm like, fucking sake, man.
Yeah.
All right. I guess.
Well, look, man, you weren't the only one. You know, I still get comments to this day on that video talking about, oh, you should have said Gon. Oh, you should have said dude from Tokyo Ghoul. Oh, you should have said, you know, this person, that person, which I understand. You know, the purpose of these videos, and I try to make this very clear, I'm never coming from the standpoint that I'm the guy to tell you what is and what isn't, right? I don't know. All I can speak, like, I'm not a mangaka, right? I don't I don't live, breathe, shit this stuff, you know. I don't know all of the literature. I don't know everything that goes into it. I can only really speak from my own personal experience and what I like. So when it came to this topic, I just felt like, for me, based on the criteria that I was working with at the time for, you know, the struggler protagonist, my brain has just been consistently on Yuji because of the fact that in his verse, not just being constantly being met with adversity and having to make tough decisions and stay true to their laurels, which again, a lot of characters go through. My thing is that with Yuji specifically, most series, when it comes to a character being altruistic or staying true to their belief systems, they're constantly being rewarded for those like ideologies, right? I would even say, you know, counterpoint to the Edward Elric thing is like, yeah, at the very beginning of the series, brothers tried to, you know, get too close to God and, you know, bit the head that feed them and, you know, pay the consequences for it. But as the story continues, you know, there's kind of this like, we're making progress, we're going towards what we're looking for, we're trying to get the thing, and the story is unraveling. There is kind of this sense of, oh, we're doing the right thing, and the story is accommodating for those things. Yuji is different for me, where it's like, dude, you have people in their own community saying that this guy is not the main character. The readers are saying this.
That is true.
That's not the story. The readers are saying that, right? Like, and it's framed in a way to make you think that's not the case. But as I have known for all this time, and as Gege Akutami is consistently reminding or now showing people in the most recent chapters, yeah, no, he's the main character. He was always going to be the guy. He was going to be the one to, you know, set the record straight. He was just kept putting him into positions to make it so that eventual rise feel that much sweeter when it does happen. So that's why I felt so strongly about him, and that's why I said what I said. And again, if people feel differently, I understand it. I get it. You know, I would listen, and I say this jokingly, but like to all those people who are mad at Yuji and Midoriya and whoever being on the front, like on the thumbnail, yo, man, whenever you guys make a video, I'll watch it.
Dude.
I'll watch it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And also to those people who are upset at thumbnails, because I got hella flack for my thumbnails too. Yo, you try making a thumbnail that people will click on, bro.
Yeah, no,
like
bro.
I freaking had a thumbnail where it's like it got Yuji Itadori in front of it, and like across his face is trash. And then like they're like, "Yo, why'd you do that? You didn't even say he was trash in the video. How else are you gonna click on it?" Like,
yeah. Oh man, listen. I'll tell you this, and this is something I believed fully. When it comes to being like quote unquote content creator or just a videographer, just in general, and like making YouTube videos, you know, when you're not in it, there's always this aspect of, oh man, you gotta like, you can't clickbait, you can't do XYZ, you gotta be pure. Once you actually start the process of being a YouTuber, you realize how much compromises you have to make just for people to watch the video. Because no matter how much people want to say, yo, you're a clickbaiter, bro, you clicked on the video. You clicked it. You're here. The only reason why you're leaving this comment is because the thumbnail got you to click it. We can't sit here and pretend like it's not, like we're not playing a game. No matter how much we don't want, like, bro, if we could just make the thumbnails and videos and like whatever the way we wanted to, I would. If I never had to write another description or come up with tags or whatever, I wouldn't do it. But we have to. It's a part of the process. So it's a compromise you have to make sure that people see the art. So, you know, if you don't get it, that means you haven't done it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Getting mad at us or saying whatever just tells me, oh, you haven't had to do this. You don't know what it's like over here. So I can't even be mad at you that you're saying that because you don't know.
Yeah.
You think you're just a viewer. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And I told RJ this when he made his world building video. I was like, bro, you saying One Piece does not have the best world building, and you showing that thumbnail of you wearing a straw hat, bro, genius, bro. I would I clicked on it. I was like, yo, what the fuck is he talking about? And I was like, all right, bet, hey, W thumbnail, bro, W thumbnail and title. But going back to what we were talking about shonen protagonists, to defend my boy Edward Elric for just a little bit. I feel like even though he did get rewarded in the end, he kind of got what he wanted. Something did get taken away from him, regardless. Yeah. So I feel like he still fits into that struggling protagonist mold. You know what I mean? When it comes to Yuji Itadori, I'm guessing you're talking about like what happens in the manga, right? Like why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you know, it's a combination of things. You know, it's a lot of like every time Yuji is kind of put in these scenarios where it's like, okay, you know, as long as I'm strong and I fight and, you know, I hit him with a couple of black flashes, maybe I'll make it out okay. But 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. You know, that's the case for a lot of characters in the series. But again, it's more like, what does the series feel like it's trying to say versus what is the actual character at odds with, right? Like what is it? You know, Jujutsu Kaisen is constantly in that vein of like, oh, if you're a great sorcerer, you have to like abandon your humanity. You have to be, you know, cold and calculated. You have to like not care. You have to believe that you're the greatest to achieve whatever. And again, you have characters who are not villains who uphold that kind of mindset, right? You know, Gojo, Maki, you know, fucking, you know, Yuta a little bit, like Megumi, like characters again who are not the main villains, but still kind of have this like, yeah, man, the only way that you can achieve shit is for you to believe that you're, you know, above everyone else and, you know, kind of give into that darkness. Whereas Yuji there's never been a point where he was going to do that, right? There was never a time where he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna let go of, you know, trying to do the right thing. And he's always punished for it. There's never been a time where he wasn't. Brother's almost died multiple times. People in his life have literally died in front of his eyes. Like
Right.
there's never been a point where him being like, yeah, being altruistic has ended up being a good thing for him, but he keeps doing it because it's like it's who he is that at his core. So that's why I think I find him to be like a good representation of that above of of
Interesting.
other characters. So
Okay, maybe I just
yeah.
need to wait for more seasons to come out because I'm gonna segue this into manga, which
Mhm.
I'm a super casual when it comes to
Yeah.
manga. I read manga, but like not like read manga. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think I have you can call it a skill issue or whatever. I actually do think it is a skill issue with me. I really
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Because I have a problem with reading action in manga. It just doesn't register. Like
Okay.
and like
Interesting.
it ends up like ruining the series for me because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. So at some points.
Okay.
So the manga that I have been reading recently, I finished Monster last year.
Okay.
I finished Promise Neverland earlier this year, and I am at the very like tail end. I think I'm on the last arc of 20th Century Boys, which by the way, it's looking like my favorite manga of all time. I'm not gonna lie
Okay.
to you. All three of those manga don't require action. Like they're
Mhm.
all like mystery thriller type, more like world building type manga.
Okay.
I try reading things like My Hero and Jujutsu Kaisen or whatever. It just doesn't like click. Like, what is this fight? Like, what's going on?
Right.
I don't,
Right.
I
Right.
don't know.
Right.
I don't know if you had that problem when you were super casual, or if it's just a me thing, or if there's anything you
Well,
can. I don't
the
know.
thing is, I guess I can't. I really can't relate because manga is legitimately my preferred medium when it
Mhm.
comes to watching, or when it comes to consuming
Right.
like that kind of stuff over anime. So like specifically where action, like I love the shit. Like I love the page turning to see what's going on. I will say there are some series that I don't think portray action the best. I
Mhm.
think
Right.
Dragon Ball Toriyama is really kind of the bar. Like he has, like, what is it? Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z have the most motion when it comes to action
Mhm.
being portrayed. It really does feel like I can see everything that's going on, and I feel very much like, okay, yeah, no, this is I know what this is would look like in movement, right? I think what other series I think it does. Oh, I'm currently reading Vagabond, and Vagabond has
Mhm.
amazing range of motion when it comes to the illustration. I know One Piece, for a good portion of the time has had that issue where a lot of some of the stuff wasn't resonating. I know I was definitely having a huge issue with Jujutsu Kaisen in the manga. But as time has gone on, I feel less and less like that's an issue for me, and I'm just
Mhm.
kind of trying to enjoy it. And I also think there's a part of it where it's like, yo, they're gonna animate this, so even if I
Right.
don't fully understand it now, I'll get it later. So I'm just consuming the story for what it is. And once they do animate this scene, like I think it kind of has that like anticipation to it where I'm like, oh shit, this fight seems like it would be nuts. I can't wait to see it when it's animated, kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kinda how
Definitely.
I look at it.
I can definitely see that for sure. I definitely understand what what you're thinking about when you're like, oh, it's gonna get animated, so I guess I'll figure it out when it gets animated. Because I felt that way
Yeah,
when I was reading JoJo's Part 5, and I was like, dude,
gotcha.
I read the King Crimson scene like 5 times, and I was like, I
Mhm.
still don't fucking get it. Like, what the fuck is this power? And then it wasn't
Yeah,
until the anime animated it, and I was like, okay, that makes way more sense. I
yeah.
was like, but yeah, I mean, JoJo's is my favorite long running shonen of all time. But like,
Okay, cool.
it's such a man. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I gotta wait for the anime to come out because what the fuck, Araki? What is this?
Yeah. I will say in terms of, like, series that I really wish would have got animation, Vagabond is so good right now, and it actually is, like, confusing to me. I don't understand what it is, like, with seinen specifically. Like, shonen seems to be the series that always kinda get, their just due. But for some reason or another, seinen have a really hard time getting proper adaptations. They either get really bad ones or they don't get them at all. And I think that's such a missed market. I think Tokyo Ghoul may be one of the bigger ones that got there. But even then, people say that they didn't love the Tokyo Ghoul series, especially going into like season 2 and stuff. Berserk has just had a fucking awful
dude
for such a long time.
I feel so bad for Berserk fans.
Yeah, and then Vagabond just has gotten nothing, so it's really confusing. I would love to see a Vagabond series at some point. I just don't know if we'll ever actually see it in my lifetime.
If I can counter that, I think it's a dark fantasy problem, not a seinen problem, because Apothecary Diaries, very good anime. They had a great adaptation. That's a seinen, but it's not a dark fantasy. Bungo Stray Dogs has had an amazing run, a great seinen adaptation. But it's definitely more of an action oriented, not really fantasy vibe. I think it's
I also think maybe I don't know about that either, because you look at Goblin Slayer and how that, kind of popped off for the subject matter that it is. I mean, listen, man, I'll tell you this much. If Redo a Healer could get a fucking anime, I think we could give one to Vagabond, man. I think listen, if we are okay putting that on animation for people to watch, I think Vagabond is good, man. I think we should try that out.
As long as it's done well, I'm down.
Yeah.
But the track record of dark fantasies getting crappy adaptations is very lengthy. I'll give you that.
That's true.
Even you can even argue that Promised Neverland's a dark fantasy kind of, but it terrible, butchered that shit.
Yeah, really bad ending from what I heard. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
All right. I'm a segue into me going through your catalog of videos, because that's what I do when I get
all right, here we go.
Guest on Studio Trigger, that video. So I remember in the video, this was I think it's been over a year or two or something since you made that video.
No, it's been a long time, man. I promise you, I barely remember anything I said in it. I'm just gonna be totally real with you. But I'll tackle it. Let's go.
Me and RJ argue about Studio Trigger all the time. And I remember in your video, you said Studio Trigger is the greatest animation studio of all time, or somewhere around those lines.
Somewhere around there.
Do you, first of all, do you still feel that way?
That is a very good question, because I think I do. But if I'm going to be honest, I really can't remember the last time I watched no, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. I watched Cyberpunk, and I just got done watching Dungeon Meshi. So, okay, they're up there. My favorite has moved, though. My favorite has moved. It's in the top 3. My current favorite, and I don't see it moving for a very long time, is Saiyan Saru.
I can see that.
Saiyan Saru has put up numbers consistently throughout the years. They made Uzukin. They did The Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. They did Japan Sinks. They did Devilman. They're doing Dawn to Dawn. Come on, man. They're putting up Jordan, Bulls numbers right now. So they got me. They got me.
I'll give you this. I do like the uniqueness of Saiyan Saru a lot. I like that they're not they're not trying to be like any other animation studio, for sure.
There is a level of attention to fluidity and creativity with their animation that just makes for some of the most fun visual aspects that I've seen in a very long time. I just got done watching Bocchi the Rock, and they didn't do that one, but that type of animation is some of my favorite. It's just so loose, and I like the fact that they go the distance with making sure the characters models aren't so detailed, so that they can kind of just do whatever with the how the characters move and emote and stuff. And I think it's just really cool.
Oh, okay. Well, since we're sharing our favorite studios, I'll give you 2 answers.
Okay.
This studio is pure just animation, and that's Studio David Production. I love how stylized all their stuff is. It's like it reminds me of like Redline, where it's polished but also stylized at the same time. That's like
Okay.
what I love in animation. That like to me that looks super loose and goofy yet so polished. I'm like, oh, I love
Okay.
that so much. The other studio I like due to their like to me they have not missed a single anime. I think every single anime they create has been a 10, like, well, not 10 out of 10, but it's like they have no like misses is what I'm saying. Studio Orange, I think, has not made a bad anime, like, ever. I think all of their anime are good. At least 8 out of 10 for me. Like
that is some high praise, man. That is some high praise.
Okay,
I'm looking at the catalog right now.
It's a small catalog. It's a small
So
catalog.
we got Black Bullet. I do remember watching Black Bullet when I was in high school. I didn't actually finish it. Is that a miss? Is that a miss?
Black Bullet's that's what is it? That's a collab. So
okay, that doesn't count. We don't count that. Okay.
I'm saying that's the fault of whoever was collabing with them.
Okay, understood. Okay. We got Beastars. Okay. I watched the first season. I actually did like it. I stopped at the last episode because we were encroaching on furry sex and I didn't know if I could handle that. I very much was like, oh man, I was enjoying myself a lot. I don't know if I can do this. So I just stopped watching, never went back, but I may have to, because I know they're doing the final season. Oh, they did Stampede for Trigun.
They did.
Okay,
they did Trigun Stampede.
I actually really like that. I actually really like that a lot.
Land of the Lustrous.
Okay, I haven't seen that. They did do Dimension W. I did not. I watched the first episode, but I watched it in dub because it was on Toonami. Didn't love the dub. Stopped watching, but it may be good.
I'm blaming that on Studio or 3 Hertz. I'm blaming it on them.
Okay. All right. So we got 2 misses, but it's not their fault. So
yeah.
Okay. I understand.
I'm literally like looking through. All their misses have been co-productions. All the ones that they've done like on their own, which is I believe 3: Land of the Lustrous, Beastars, and Trigun Stampede. All hits to me at least. Hits.
They need to start getting better collaborators because they're fucking up their score, man.
I'm being dead serious.
I'm not mad at it. I believe you.
Yeah, for sure. But going back to Studio Trigger, so me and RJ go back and forth all the time because he's a huge Trigger fanboy, and I've been very look to explain myself with my very disappointment in Studio Trigger. It's because so way back then when it was just Studio Gainax, I fell in love with Gurren Lagann. It's still like one of my favorite anime of all time. Like it holds up like crazy. Love Gurren Lagann. When I found out the creators of Gurren Lagann were making their own Studio Trigger, I was so hyped. I was excited. And then they came out with Inferno Cop. That was cooked. But I was like,
I don't like and this is we're gonna have a problem. But I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you cook. Bringing up Inferno Cop as a slight against the Studio Trigger is insane, bro. It was never meant to be that. It was never trying to be that, bro. Like we got to put limiters on what we're considering like what is supposed to be their peak. I don't think anyone at Studio Trigger would go, yeah, that was one of our best ones. Like,
I'm just going off of that timeline.
Okay, all right. I'll let you go.
So first thing I saw from Studio Trigger was Inferno Cop, and I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe it's just because it's their first time on their own. I'm gonna let them move on. All right, let's see what's going on. So then they made Kill la Kill. And Kill la Kill, I have like a love-hate relationship with because I liked the characters. And I thought I love the animation style that is like very Gurren Lagann-esque, but I really just wasn't feeling the high school battle type anime. Like I think I definitely was hoping they were gonna make another sci-fi / mecha-esque show
I
and
see.
I
So
didn't.
you didn't like the setting. You more.
Yeah, I wasn't
Okay.
really into the type of anime it was. I was like, all
Okay.
right. And on top of that, I was at when I first watched it, I was at that point where I was basically kind of over ecchi. Like I wasn't just a horny teenager for no
Okay.
reasons. Like the ecchi scenes, I was like, why? I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. All right.
Yeah.
And then so there's that. Um well, what else did Studio Trigger do? I was like, Little Witch Academia was like cool, but I was like, okay, can I like see more? Like, okay, but
Mhm.
Little Witch Academia, I meant the OVA. I didn't really get into the show
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Well, I might go back and watch it, and we'll see.
Okay.
But I think I remember like a string of like Kisniver, bro. I was so confused. Kisniver, I was
Right.
so confused. I was like,
Right.
what is happening? And I was
Right. Right.
okay.
Right.
I ended up dropping it. Darling in the Franxx, let's just assume that's Cloverworks' fault and A1 Pictures' fault. Let's just assume that. All right.
I'm 1000% believing that was not their fault. That I fully believe that had nothing to do with Trigger, specifically for Darling in the Franxx, because the big issue with the series is that it was very clear that there was not a good plan for the ending. Like when we got to that middle section and then they did the recap episode for no reason, which is weird for a series that had a limited run. If you know your series is going to do a limited run, why are we getting a middle part of recap? Which is exactly what fucking happened to goddamn Wonder Egg, which is why I know that was Cloverworks' fault, because
Yeah.
they do this. This is something they do. So yeah, I don't even count Darling in the Franxx and the Misses. I really don't.
Uh, and
But yeah.
you got like BNA, like that was cool, but like
Yeah.
I wasn't like feeling it. I was like, all right, that was okay. Like most of the stuff I watched from Trigger are either like I just don't like it, or
Mhm.
it's like or it's like a collapse fault or whatever.
Okay.
Like and then me and RJ finally like understood each other when
Yeah.
I said I loved Cyberpunk Edge Runners a lot. All
Mhm.
right. And then I went ahead and watched Promare, and I
Mhm.
loved that a lot. And
Yeah.
then we were like, yo, I only like Studio Trigger when they do sci-fi or mecha. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is,
I
but
mean,
I only
they're really good at it. They're
they're
really good
very
at
good.
expressing, like doing artwork for like robotic mech tech stuff. Like they're really, really good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so I understand it. For me, I love Trigger because they operate in that level of absurdity that you just don't get with a lot of series, right?
Right.
Like their hardcore series, they go above and beyond with very kind of weird conceptual, over the top, high level like aspects, and it works really great with the animation. Like Kill La Kill for me has that same level of like peaks and valleys that no, just specifically peaks that Gurren Lagann does, where it's like we start low and then we just ramp it all the way up, right? Even with the etchy stuff, I feel like with Trigger, there's always a sense of like the etchiness is a part of the charm. There's an aspect to it that is feeding into the entire like universe that they're crafting, right? Where other series, it really is just like if you remove it, like you know, the series remains the same, right? With Kill I Kill, it's like, yo, the whole aspect is about clothes and being free and expressing yourself and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of the comedy and humor and expressiveness comes from that. So I kind of take it on the chin with those. I'm like, I see what they're doing. This has a purpose. I'll let it slide. Because Never was really weird. I will say that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a miss. I definitely do think it operates in that super conceptual aspect. Brand new animal, I would say, is a miss. I thought it started off great. It didn't really find its footing. I really like the Little Witch anime. I thought it was really good. Dungeon Meshi is dope. As I said, Gridman is really good.
I need to get
Um,
into that for
that
sure.
one's just fun. That one's kind of just a fun watch. And then, dude, Space Patrol Luluco is so fucking funny.
I
That
haven't
has to
seen
be
it,
one
so
of,
I don't know.
dude. You had like just to have a good time. That shit is so funny. I love Space Patrol Luluco. And again,
Oh,
you have Promare, you have Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Both of those are just peak. So
yeah.
yeah,
I
man.
I don't know. I think well, I definitely used to think like, man, why does everyone like Trigger so much? And then like
Mm,
it wasn't until I like watched Edge Runners and Promare where I'm like, I see it.
yeah,
I definitely
yeah.
see it. It's a weird. It definitely is a weird thing with me. I'm like, man, Studio Trigger should just stick to sci-fi, bro. Can we just stick? Can you just make a sci-fi show, man? Like, come on, bro.
Right,
And
right,
and,
right.
and I'm gonna admit, I'm super biased. I love mecha. I love mecha shows a lot.
Mhm.
The one of the first anime I ever watched was the original Gundam from like a VHS tape, like back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Like it's like mecha's always been around for me. So man, Gurren Lagann Promare really filled that void. Man, Trigger, I need to give it more respect because it definitely does mecha in a very different way than other like
True.
Sunrise is so like formulaic in how they
Mhm.
make their mecha, and Studio Trigger and the people that worked at Gainax, like they changed the way that mecha's done now. Like now it's like more like action shonen-esque mecha, but it
Mhm.
still keeps like the political side of it, the
Yeah.
all that. It's like, man, I need to give Trigger more chances. I'm not gonna
Hey
lie.
man, listen, they are who they are for a reason, man. It's just, depending on what you like, you're gonna get different stuff. And I also like that aspect about them too. Like them doing Dungeon Meshi, I never would have thought about that marriage before, but it ended up working really well. I really
Mhm.
enjoyed it. So yeah, man.
All right. Sticking with me going through your catalog, you actually made me rewatch Fooly Cooly with your
Yeah,
video,
man. Yeah, Fooly
because
Cooly.
I had to be honest, man. When I first watched it, I thought it was trash. I was like 13 or 14 when I first watched it. I was like, this is some bullshit ass like cartoon, like trying to be like a cartoon ass shit. I'm not gonna lie
Mhm.
to you. And then I just like dismissed it. I was like, yo, Fooly Cooly sucks. And then I went back and watched it. Now I'm like in my late 20s. Like I went back and watched it because I'm like, oh, so I'll understand it now that I'm older. Okay, let me see if I can go back and understand. I'm like, yo, I definitely see why people like it, because it's
Mhm.
definitely like some real ass like stuff you have to grow up with and learn through like your own mistakes and
Mhm.
everything. And I'm like, okay, this is a show meant for adults. Like
Yeah.
I don't think any teenager should be watching Fooly Cooly because they're just not gonna get it. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say it's one of my favorites, but I'm gonna say
Mhm.
I understand the love for it now for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, I'll say this, I've said this 1,000 times. Fooly Cooly is my definitive favorite anime.
Okay.
I watch it every year. I've consumed everything there is about Fooly Cooly at this point. And I definitely, you saying I didn't like it at first. I say that in the video, like no one does. Most people don't, especially when you watch it as a kid because you don't get it. It's just
Right.
weird. It's awkward. There's a bunch of weird imagery that you don't fully get yet. Like there's an aspect
Mhm.
to it that you really kind of don't fully understand until you understand life a little better. Right.
Right.
And then once you get to that point, a lot of what happens in the series starts to make more sense. I say this a lot too with other people. There are really two types of Fooly Cooly fans. There are people who get it and understand that they shouldn't want to be Naota
Right.
on episode 4,
Definitely
and
not.
you want to be Naota on at the end of episode 6. That's the
Right.
Naota you want to be, right? And then there's fans who want to be Naota on episode 4. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, so you don't understand that this is not good.
Right.
Like this relationship is bad. Like
Right.
how you feel about yourself and your brother and Mamimi and Haruko, like these are not good
Mhm.
things, right? So it really is a coming of age story, and it's one of my favorites. It's like I can't think of any other series that I think does it better. And I was actually talking to Bushamo about this
Mhm.
yesterday, where I want to redo that video because I think it's my first video going into like actual serious commentary about anime. Like I did it I did the real trial run with the One Piece movies. Then I did Demon Slayer and some other series here and there. But the Fooly Cooly video was the first time that I actually got serious and really talked about something I was super, super passionate about. And now that I've had all the experience and, the tools at my disposal, I would like to redo that video next year. Once the Johnnyverse stuff is over, I can like really focus in on passion projects, and that would be the first one I would want to do.
Yeah. Definitely will be looking forward to it because well, again, it was like what, a 5-minute video, so
man, it wasn't long. I didn't really get to say everything I wanted to, and also since then 2 more seasons of Fooly Cooly have come out, and I really need to talk about those as well because I never.
How are those, by the way?
They're terrible. They're ass. They're god awful. They shouldn't exist. Fuck Production IG for creating them. Fuck Adult Swim.
What's so bad about them? Wait, hold on.
My god, I really don't even know if I have the energy to get into this because I really do feel so passionate about this. And okay, again, I don't want to do this right now. I don't have the energy because I will go on forever. But I'll tell you this: the issue that I have is that it is very clear when series or sequels or whatever are made with the intent to just produce dollar bills without the intent of actually creating something that is supposed to be good. Fooly Cooly ended with season 1. That is just it. It's definitive. Man. It's over. It ended with season 1. The subsequent series do nothing in the way to provide anything close to quality or to be even as good, which is, if you're trying to make something that's as good as the original, why are you even doing it in the first place? It already exists. It's already good, right? Oh my God. Listen, I have 2 videos on this shit, man. I've said as much as I can. I will talk about the 2 other series, Shoegaze and fucking whatever the other one was, but Grunge. I didn't get to talk about those in length, but bro, just go. I have 2 videos on it. I've said all, I might be able to say on those. They're just trash, man. Just watch season 1, bro. Yeah.
I was gonna say the soundtrack sounded great. I was like, oh, okay.
The music is good. The music is good. The Pillows are the GOAT. They know what they're doing. But in terms of quality with these series, man, you're not gonna get me, bro. I see the writing on the wall. I've watched the series. They're bad. The fact that they even exist is, I don't even know if people know this. The original creator of the first, he's not on these.
Oh, really?
He's not.
Oh, wow.
He has nothing to do with these other series. He was specifically asked by the front runners of Adult Swim and Production IG, hey, so what do you got? Like, what do you think of coming back? He was like, no, what? Why? It's over.
Oh,
I did it. God. Like, what are we doing? They bugged him so much that he was like, yeah, all right, I'll be the supervisor for the new seasons. Fine. But if you guys are going to do it, I think you should not reference anything from the original series. Just do your own new stories and get new animators to work on these projects. Don't get veterans, get new people with fresh ideas to get on these. And instead of listening to any of that, they just said, actually, we're just going to get the people we have in house, and then we're just going to keep talking about the shit you already did.
Damn.
And it's like, oh, okay. Cool.
Wow. Yo,
so you guys don't care. You guys don't give a fuck.
Damn. Right. That sucks. Hey, man, shout out to Eureka 7 AO, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Shout out to Eureka 7. Go watch that. Literally, if you even find yourself thinking, maybe I should watch Fooly Cooly season 2, but no, go watch Eureka 7. If you need it that bad, just go watch that. Or man. Ava. Go watch Ava.
Like, go watch the rebuild movies.
Yeah, do something better with your life. Don't do this to yourself. Man.
Don't watch Eureka 7 AO. I'm gonna just be honest, dude. I never felt a slap in the face that hard in my life when I first watched Eureka 7 AO. I'm like, why? Like that's probably how you felt when you saw the freaking.
Yeah.
Oh man. Damn. All right. I guess I will not be watching the other Fooly Cooly stuff.
Let it go. Let it go.
All right. The last anime topic I want to talk about is how would you define new gen anime? Because I was kind of torn with this at first, but then I'm like, someone like explain it to me that was like, okay, you love JoJo's, right? And I'm like, yeah. Would you consider that a new gen anime? And I'm like, maybe it's in the 2010s, right? They're like, not that manga was made in the fucking 80s, bro. If you think that shit's new, like you need to reevaluate yourself. I'm like, oh shit, you're right, because Pluto was the anime came out last year, but that shit was made in like 2002 or something. I'm like, how would I make that new gen? So like, how would you define, like, if people can't, because it's such a hot topic of like what's new gen, what's not new gen, what's the best new gen anime or whatever. How would you define it?
The answer is Frieren. The answer is Frieren. I will say that to the day I die. When we're talking about what new gen anime has the potential to be and what it looks like versus its like other past series, the answer is Frieren. Frieren, I think, is the perfect example of new gen in the sense of taking something that seems like it wouldn't be a good idea and turning it into one of the most entertaining series possible. That is the way, from animation to storytelling to vibe to humor, like to internet like culture, right? Like how Frieren just it instantaneously become like a darling in the anime community and this kind of meme machine almost with every new episode, right? Like that is new. That's what new anime or the new generation of anime is. It has a way of becoming a cultural icon overnight, you know?
Okay.
That's how I would view it. That's how I view it. And again, that's not just like off of like the community doing this. It's the hard work and dedication of the animators, them putting in their experiences and understanding of the current like world that we live in and how people engage with media and stuff like that. Like you even see it in Jujutsu Kaisen where fucking Yuji is talking about Jennifer Lawrence and shit.
Oh yeah,
like,
that is weird.
Like the way that newer series now have this attention to creativity and relating to the current like generation of people who are watching it, bro. Dungeon Meshi has like sections where it's not, the humor isn't in the animation. There's like a dead ass scene where the elf girl is looking at the knight, and instead of just like the typical zoom in that you would expect, it's just like YouTuber zoom in on the frame.
Oh yeah, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I saw that clip. I did see that clip. I was like,
it's
oh,
like,
interesting.
bro, it's genius, but but it only works in this context. That could only exist now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what makes engaging with new gen anime so fun, is because it's not just quote unquote relatable, it's creative in the newer gen way. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would describe it. So Frieren, if you need an example, Frieren, Bocchi the Rock, fucking One Piece now, bro. One Piece today.
That is insane. Calling One Piece
One Piece today. No, I mean the people who are working on One Piece now are what are the examples of what new gen anime are capable of. Bro, these the team they got at Toei, all the animators that people are engaging with online, them posting their cuts of what they did for the episode, them adding little Easter eggs into like the animation that you're like, yo, I didn't even peep that. Like that right there is what like the new generation is being able to appreciate animation for, you know. Yeah, no, that dude. I say this I will say this every time. I said it on the River podcast.
If the River podcast is crazy.
You know, the flow. My bad. My fault. Cut that out.
Hey, shout out to Cardiac, Ichiban, and everyone.
Brothers. My fault, brother. Shout out to the Flow podcast, bro. Like I said this before. I will say right now is the best time for me. Right now is the best time. I'm getting everything, most of the things I love in newer gen than, you know, the sprinkle across the, you know, the grand canvas that was manga and anime. Again, there's stuff that I love from that period. I grew up during that time, bro. I was born in 1997. I know what it is, but the variety and creativity that I get with newer shit, I can't think of a better time to be an anime fan. I really can't.
I definitely agree with that. Anime nowadays, there's so much variety. Like you can catch a section of anime fans that don't even touch the popular shit, and they're still
Yeah.
considered anime fans. Like it's pretty insane the time we live in. I'm not gonna lie to you. But when it comes to new gen anime, so you wouldn't like put a time period around it, huh? You would just say like the type of like the way they make the show is like how you
Yeah,
would.
I don't know if I would put a time period on it because there's that whole conversation of like, oh, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and then the 2020s. I would say if I had to, I know I graduated from high school around 2015, and that was when I was kind of watching anime consistently, right?
One Punch Man just
After
came out, I believe,
fuck it.
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I kind of slowly stopped after that point. But bro, like with the newer series that are coming out, I feel like I have to get in. Like I can't miss it. Like every
Yes.
time there's something new, I feel like, oh, dude, I gotta go watch that. I gotta go see what's up. I gotta see what people are talking about. And there was a long period of time where that just wasn't a thing for me. So yeah, maybe the back end of the 2010s I wasn't really feeling, but the new stuff, 2020, 2018 moving into 2024, like this, yeah, they've been killing it as of late.
Yeah, I mean, I did have this conversation with Cardiac once, and the way he defined new gen is the manga had to have come out in 2020 or later, and the anime should be made in the 2020s or something like that. Which is like, okay, I can see that, but like, I definitely see your perspective too of like it depends on how it's made and stuff like that. Like, I definitely see that for sure. Because there is no way I'm calling Pluto a new gen anime. You gotta be fucking like there is no fucking way you're about to make me say that shit.
Yeah.
And on top of that arc, by the way, that arc in Pluto, that was made in the 60s in Astro Boy originally. It's just a different interpretation of the arc.
Yeah, I know.
So
it's like, that's true.
So if we're being technical here, that shit is a 60s anime, bro.
Yeah,
that is
the animators are new, but this story we're telling is not.
I know,
right?
Know what
I'm saying? Yeah. I feel you.
Shit. You're about to tell me the Grim Variations is a new gen anime, but dude, fuck, those stories have been around since like the 19th century, bro. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But anyways, that's it for the anime stuff. There is just one more thing I want to talk to you about, and it's been on your timeline. Let's be honest. I've been following you on the am I still allowed to call it Twitter? I'm gonna just call it Twitter for the sake of
I call it Twitter. I don't even I don't even entertain that other word or what letter, like not
the letters.
Don't hit me with that, bro. Don't hit me with it.
But yeah, on Twitter, you have been following the rap beef that's been going on the past couple weeks very extensively, my ad. Every time I go on Twitter, I'm like, oh, another Johnny tweet about Drake or whatever. Anyways, I've been following it too. I'll be honest. Who's winning? I think we're winning because this is hilarious to me.
No, okay, I'll tell you this right now. You will never see another rap beef tweet from me again. I have now blocked the words Kendrick, Drake, rap beef, diss. I don't see them on my TL anymore because the moment that Drake used an AI voice,
to that was crazy.
Tupac as a way to diss Kendrick, and also said, "Yeah, man, go ahead and talk about how you like, them girls." I heard that on the Joe Budden pod. That's when I knew this shit is Looney Tunes. This shit is Looney Tunes. It's not for real. This is fake. This stuff is this is fabrication. This is not about rap anymore. This is about something else. I'm out. I'm out the game. And on top of that, what even made it worse is that I was getting into arguments with people about how they were like, well, Kendrick did the face thing, so it's not that.
Bro, okay. Come on, bro.
I'm shutting out. I'm shutting down. Y'all got it. This is not for me anymore. This is for the Kaisenat, brain rot people. I'm cool. I'm good. I have now aged out of rap beef. I'm too old now.
You're too old for rap beef.
I'm only 26, and y'all have made me feel too old for this shit. I can't.
Dude,
I'm out.
First of all, anyone saying like, "Oh, but Kendrick used AI for the face swap," he got permission from Nipsey Hussle's family, bro. Like, look in. You can Google it. You can look it up. Yeah, he got permission from their family.
It only takes 2 seconds to Google, man. It only takes 2 seconds.
For real. And I don't think, dude, there's no way Drake got permission from his family to use his voice to fucking, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no fucking way. Also, may I add another thing? I don't know if you're caught up on this because this dropped yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. Fucking Quavo, don't respond.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Chris Brown is gonna die.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say that, by the way, he's not gonna die because he's affiliated. But I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna say this, Quavo. Don't fucking make another diss. You're gonna get clowned on, bro. I'm so sorry, man. You lost. Just take the L, bro. Take the L, man. I'm gonna be honest because
I'm gonna just have to let people have that because like I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that because he can respond. It's just that I don't know how to feel about Chris Brown saying what he said. I really don't know. I don't know. If nothing is off the table, if you guys really hate each other that much, sure, cool, go ahead. But also, yeah, bro.
It's it, yeah, bro. That's it, bro.
J. Cole is looking smarter and smarter every day.
Dude, on some real, you know what? I was clowning on J. Cole for pulling out like that. Low key, smart move, bro.
Smart move,
man. You know what? It don't matter if you get called a pussy or not. Hey, at least you don't have to deal with this clown show, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You got R&B artists making better diss tracks than most rappers right now. Is fucking insane. Like
J. Cole walked into the house party saying, "All right, man, what game we playing, bro? I'll play with any game. I'll beat you on anything." They said, "Oh, we playing Mario Party." He said, "Oh,
okay, bro.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going home because
okay, bro.
Y'all are not gonna. Yeah, I know how this goes. I'm going home. Actually, yeah. You guys have a good day.
I know, dude. I know, right? And on top of that, yo, Quavo, you cannot be talking about Chris Brown beating on Rihanna when there's 4K footage of you beating up Sweetie, bro. 4K footage, bro.
We're at the woman beater Olympics. Who's the best? Who does it the best? You know that stuff is crazy.
I'm just like, bro. Hey, man. Hey, low key, God was spitting when he said, "Hey, throw the first stone, but just know that if you better not have been doing anything else, man." Like low key, man. I gotta start checking myself when I start saying some crazy shit because I'm like, wait, did I say something crazy like that? Like every time I comment on like Boucham's like one of his like crazy like horny tweets, I'm like, bro, freaking dude, like turn off Twitter. I freaking go back and I'm like, wait, what did I say?
You also gotta be careful with him because he'll go find it.
Oh, dude, hey, shout out to Chicken Sandwich. No other references, bro.
He'll go find it. So you got to be careful.
Exactly. You know firsthand. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's not playing around. He's not joking.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Anyways, yo, Johnny, it's been so great having you on, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like
thank you, brother.
It's like having another RJ around, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might invite you to more things, bro, because this
man, thank you. I appreciate that. I had a great time. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, I hate public speaking. I hate kind of that like, doing podcasts with just randos and getting asked questions. I like doing this because it's just two friends talking. That's all it is.
It's literally the whole reason I made this channel is I want to give homie vibes of just like we're just shooting the shit, just talking, we may not agree on everything. But we can't agree on one thing. Drake's a clown. But anyways, I agree on anyways, guys. Johnny, anything you want to say to the people? Anything you want to plug? Other things you want to ask me?
No, just hey guys. Johnny Star on YouTube, man. I edit really good videos. We got the Johnnyverse series going on. I have what is it? Episode 3 is currently in the works right now. Hopefully to be able to get that by the end of May, hopefully. And just keep a lookout for new stuff from me, man. I'm always working on something.
Hey, for real though, Johnny makes good shit, guys. That definitely, at least for sure, check out the Johnnyverse videos for sure.
1000%.
1000%. Those are I'm gonna say it. Those are the best videos, bro. I don't know
Those
what
are
to
the
tell you.
peaks. Those are the peaks.
Man.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Creams on writing some of those. No,
Shout out to my boy Creams, man.
Even though you're a freaking weirdo. Anyways,
Yeah.
I got it. By the way, I got him muted on Twitter. By the way, I can't stand his tweets sometimes.
What?
You know what, bro?
Damn.
This is it. I don't even. I might unmute to see what he's been doing recently, but I don't even remember what tweet he said. But
yeah,
I remember thinking I gotta mute this guy. There's no fucking way.
He's altruistic, man. You know, what can you do? He's got that, not altruistic. He's eccentric. He's a very eccentric, you know, he's a different breed. I love him to death, you know. Hey man. It is what it is. I really don't know what else to say. It is what it is, man.
And to be fair, some people got me muted because I say some wild shit too. I'm not gonna lie too. I'm not gonna lie, man. One time there's sometimes where I just do it for like just to see what happens. At like 7 a.m. I was just like, what happens if I just like post cum, like just to see what happens?
Look, I'm there with you. I do the same thing sometimes, bro. It's just obviously you just got to shot in the dark, see what people take to, and then move on. You know,
right? And some people DM me and was like, hey, do that again, and I'm muting you, bro. And I'm like, all right, I guess, hey, I gotta test the waters out, man. I'd be like, yo, is this crazy? Yeah.
See how far I can go. See how far I can take it. I ain't mad at that.
Oh man,
that makes sense.
But anyways, guys, yes, of course, check out Johnny's channel, check out his Twitter, all the socials. I'll leave the links down in the description for sure. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and you know, let me know what is your favorite new gen anime. Honestly, leave a comment and subscribe. You know, I'm gonna keep doing this. I got another recording coming out. I'm gonna be throwing out more videos for you. I'm sorry for the wait, guys, but yeah, I hope you guys had fun because honestly, man, I had a lot of fun. I don't know about you. But anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys later. See you.